Hello, hello. So, as you guys may have probably noticed by now, especially with all the talk online about it, Hytale is back. I'm really excited about it. I was hoping for years to see this come out. I was really sad when it seemingly got canceled. But it came back. Simon, as I'm sure you guys have seen, was able to buy it back. Let me see if I can find the right page. There we go. Yeah, this guy. He's been in the process of that for months now, of looking into it, purchasing it back from Riot because they had sold it to him, or he had sold it to them, I believe, at some point, or something like that. I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to that specifically myself, but he's bought it back, and as he says in the blog post, it is saved. So they go through here. They kind of talk about what's gone on with it, what they're planning to do, how things went about that, kind of just an overall talk about what was going on with it, right? But they also, in addition to this, they have dropped a 16-minute trailer of just information about it that I'm going to react to because I've been wanting to do so for a while now. So we will go over here and get that going. So obviously you can pretty quickly tell there's a lot to this combat. There's a lot you can do. They're dual wielding daggers. That is something you can't really do in Minecraft without like significant modding. This is base game, I believe. This isn't a modded thing. The skeletons have their own different weapons. The skeleton just backed up. It chose to back up. Like, that's wild. The AI that these have is crazy. He just climbed up. He climbed up the rocks, and I think that uses the energy bar there that you can kind of see going up and down as he runs around or he rolls. It looks great. The trees look superb. It's, different than Minecraft. It's not going to be like completely blocky, but I really like it. There's a lot here. Like, let me pause it just for a minute because it's going a little bit quick. But there's like sticks all over the place. Here. That skeleton just like went over this way. I think that's its head right there. There's bushes everywhere. There's tiny bushes. Like, there's a lot of detail in just the normal generation around here. Actually, let me see if I can do a higher quality. Yeah, because that looks better. So you can see a lot here already, and this is base game. It's not it's not out yet. They are planning to do an early access soon. I'm sure you guys have heard about that. But this is what it currently looks like. This is off of old engine, which is what they're planning to run off of, I believe, from what I understand, for this game. I have heard something in terms of the world generation being two different engines, which should be really interesting to see depending on how they implement that. The guy that I watch, Quebec, I think it's Quebec Corner is his YouTube. He was mentioning they might go about doing this in a way that both world generations are being used at the same time, which is crazy. Like, you've got the world generation as normal, right? You're just making a world, and then they've got another engine that they've said is, and I quote, pure wizardry, which suggests to me that this is going to be really cool looking. I am curious to see how they go about doing shader packs for this, for like how modders do it. That's going to look really nice because this already looks great. They've got different weapons obviously going on here. The particle effects are interesting. I might kind of hope for them to kind of turn that down a little bit, just because it is like really up there. So if there was a way for like a slider of lowering how in the way those are, or how obvious it is, that might be nice just for some people where they want to not have those orbs taking up that point of space, just in case something does there. But I mean, it looks really cool, even if not, like even if you can't tone that down or anything. It looks really good. These guys look cool. Like, they've got glowing eyes, glowing bodies. This guy... Oh, what was that? Okay, hold on. I didn't notice that before. So I did see this trailer a little bit before, but this guy, he's got little, I guess, alert particles? That's interesting. He just pummeled that guy in the face. Now they're all fighting him. That looks really cool. This is going to be so cool. But something to note for this. I'm curious, right? I don't know why I keep looking off to this side. I'm curious about how you're going to go about these combos or these moves, these specialties. I'm also curious about what these charges are. Is this the ammo? Or is this a special ability charge up? Like, how does this work? I'm very curious about that. But another thing I'm noticing right now is these guys are like 3D-ish. Like, right here, you can tell through the texture, this goes in. Like, this goes into the metal. The glow is set in to the texture. That's really cool. I know this is a voxel setup that they have for this. That's why these weapons and characters are all so detailed. But it looks really good. I love it. It's just, everything about this is so cool. You've got snow particles everywhere. The trees look really nice. You got rocks and grass and all of that just everywhere. You're getting ganged up, like, right here, right. This right here, this is two different types of enemies in the same area. These guys have like a camp, and this is something I've seen a little bit of information about. To my understanding, the way they want to go about this, that they want to, right? They're not saying necessarily that it's determined that they totally can, but how they want to do it is they want to make these worlds feel so alive that you have enemies working together or conflicting just naturally. You have animals chasing each other, like predators going after prey, predators running away from you when you show up, or watching you or backing away. Like you saw that skeleton earlier, right? That skeleton backed away, and there's others, I think, in this trailer, if I recall correctly, that do the same thing when you start attacking them. They'll back off after a second if they are having trouble fighting you. It's really cool the way they do this. There's something down here in the corner as well. Oh, okay, so that's how they're doing it. I hate to try and pause it again, but down here in the corner, it's got the mouse click, right click for shield, left click to attack, and then what I assume is the specialty ability, right, is Q, apparently, which is really interesting because that gives us some information on how they plan to do that. Because you've got, the normal WASD, and then Q is right up in the corner, E is right up in the corner. So it looks like they're trying to keep these specialty keys compact, which is really nice. I hate when I have to try and spread my hand across a keyboard to bump a button because people don't plan out the keys very well. It's awful. So it's really nice to see that they're seemingly putting in that kind of effort for it. This over here is really cool as well. You've got like ice, I guess icicles, yeah. And like what it's probably a wooden spike on top of this fence, which is really cool. I assume that probably does damage if you step on it, which is crazy. Because in Minecraft, you can't really do that so much. I don't think you can put like stalactite or whatever on top of fence posts. I've not tried it to be fair, but the way that this conforms to the fence post looks really nice. They've got very nice torches that you can set up on the fence posts, up against the walls. The doors are really nice looking. There's just so much. They've got barrels just sitting around, and the way that they have them like naturally stacked is really cool. The pots you can break. That's wild. The environment itself is so interactable. It's awesome. There's chairs around here. That's something. Sorry to pause again, but that's something a lot of people in Minecraft really like to try to have sometimes with mods, is being able to actually have furniture. You don't get that a lot. So it's really nice to see that you can do that. The roll there, I guess it didn't take any energy on that, which is interesting, so I guess that's just something you can do. But I do think if you don't do that roll, you'll take fall damage, but if you do the roll, it breaks your fall. At least, seemingly, I would assume, from a certain height. This is cool. They've got mages as enemies, and archers, and, you know, all sorts of different weapon skills that they're using. This guy's tracking them around. This guy's waiting. That's an interesting thing. These guys will stop the moment they're close enough and can see you. With Minecraft, they'll do that a little bit with like the skeletons. But sometimes the skeletons will still try and get way up close on you. And it can get really interesting when you've got stuff going on like that. So I assume these mages will have similar kinds of behaviors and strategies that they can go through to just try and swarm you, attack you, cause you issues. No, something I'm not particular to. So you'll notice as he's going through here, every time his cursor crosses a plant, it's giving him an option right in the middle of the screen to pick it up, and it kind of gets long. I don't really like having that there. So where it was in the middle on that mushroom when he went over it, when he, you know, panned off over top of it, the text went from like here all the way over here. I don't personally like that. I'm hoping they'll have an option to turn that off, and you'll see some other mushrooms later where it's like 5 in a row and it just blinks in and out and in and out for each individual one. I would hope there's a way to turn that off, because I feel like that's just going to kind of get in the way or be distracting. And it also, I mean, it just takes up space. I like to be able to see as much of the world, right, all the way around that I can. So having things up in here where I should be able to see everything, personally, I don't like that. Other people probably don't care. I would like to see that be an optional thing where you can turn it off. I have no idea if they'll do that. They may not. We'll see. But these banners are cool too. I just noticed that. That looks nice. So it looks like they'll have some serious ways of designing materials and just the graphics to it that you can just make. Because I know Minecraft has it to where you can design banners too. So hopefully they'll allow that kind of higher capability in terms of making designs on these. If, who knows, they might let you do the pixel art itself, which would be really cool. These scarabs are huge too. This is like fighting the I forget what you call it in Minecraft, but they run with the villagers, or not villagers, pillagers. Whatever the beast thing is. They kind of are like that when you're up close to them. Just, you know, without the crazy knockback. But all the different environments they have is just crazy. I think the way they have the world is split into 4 zones. So I don't know how that will go, whether it's like you take a portal to each zone, and then each zone has its own world generation. It could be, it might not be, I don't know. We'll have to wait until early access comes out to really get that idea of how that's gonna work. I think there is some, like, past art they put out where they showed some of that information a little bit, but I don't remember it, so I don't want to say something and be incorrect on that, you know? Oh, that was cool. I missed that before. He just jumped the cavern, almost missed it, but caught himself and climbed back up. That's crazy. And this looks like a Quebec that's like burrowed and stuck into the ground. It might be a monster, I don't know. But that's really cool. The way these trees work, they bend all over. You didn't really see that so much with some of the other ones, in, I assume, a different zone. So that looks like maybe a different kind of generation for these trees in this zone. So that could be really interesting to see how that goes. I have no idea what this is. It looks kind of like a like D&D Beholder, I would assume. And it looks like it can summon things, which is really cool. Because there's not a whole lot of mobs, if any, in like Minecraft that can do that. And I believe the way that they plan on this game running is for it to run on as many systems as possible. They're starting with Windows. You might have noticed that from the game is saved thing. Sorry to pause again, but it's a little busy for trying to talk. But they're, I believe, trying to get this on as many kinds of devices as they can. I think they're working right now on figuring out the minimum specs for it. I believe Simon mentioned that. So it'll be really interesting to see just how many things can run this just right off the bat, like the minimum standards. Because this looks really good. So if it can work on some of the lower end devices, probably not all, I would assume, but even just some of them would be awesome. I believe they've mentioned the magic systems aren't really in place yet, but there are some items that allow for you to use some magic and stuff, kind of like that skeleton had, as far as I understand on that. The ambient noise is awesome as well. I love it. It gets so dark. Yep, see right there. He didn't do the roll and he took fall damage for it. So I think that is kind of how that'll work out for doing that kind of thing, that kind of movement. That's cool. The ore glows. Nice. Yeah, the F to pick up is a little bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie. The environment here looks awesome. So that looks like the crafting menu, obviously, which doesn't look bad. So pocket crafting, and then I assume that's for if you have an actual table or something with you. I'm not sure. But it's interesting they have different tabs up here for that. Excuse me. But see, they've got health over here, so it looks like that might upgrade over time, depending on like a level or something. There's a mana system down here, for like, I guess, effects. There's armor. There are, it looks like possible menus here. The shield is right here. I think that's a backpack, and I'm not sure what that is. That might be some kind of like totems kind of thing. That could be really interesting to see. But they've got a pretty cool looking inventory system. It's about the same size as it looks like for Minecraft. So it'll be relatively translatable there. It's so cool. I love the environment. You've got crickets up in your ears. Every time you pick an item up, you can like audibly hear it, but it's not annoying either, which is nice. I don't want to fight that thing. That looks creepy. Oh, this is where I was thinking of. So these mushrooms and stuff up here, whenever he climbs up, like past and around it, every single time he clicks over it, there's like a different pop-up right in the middle of the screen under the cursor. I really hope there's an option to turn that off, just personally. Oh, that's cool. Wonder what kind of creature, lore-wise, was is where that skeleton ribcage results from, because that's huge. There's another beholder there. There's another up there. They have a campfire over here with a tent. There's enemies in here. I'm not sure if they're immediately hostile. It looks like it. That one's charging. The rest are kind of just hanging around until they realize that he's there. So like, that's going back to like I was talking about the like strategy of mobs that they just naturally have. That's going to be really cool to try and figure out how to deal with. This is cool. So you've got a whole map system just in game. So it looks like they're not going to make it to where you have to make physical maps to be able to see where you're going. But that might be a good way for like a map room or something. That way you can kind of like display it to everybody else and like show the effort you've gone through to make that image. So it could be cool. But I do like being able to see where I want to go that I've already been at without having to dig around or potentially straight up lose my way. Like that, he just put a location pin down and it shows up top here the direction he needs to go. So that'll make it really, really nice for not losing your way from your house. That or between going to an area that you don't know about, but you might have seen into or something. That could be cool. They got different color mushroom lights up here, it looks like. That's nice. I love the world generation in this. It looks so good. There's a time. That's interesting. So Minecraft does this same thing, where you can set the time that way with a like count. I am curious. Pardon my yawn. But I am curious, like the real-time length of a day in this game, because for Minecraft it's 10 minutes, but for this I don't know if it'll be different. It could be. This is pretty. This is awesome. There's all sorts of stuff in here. The tree leaves look awesome. Or, wait, is that tree leaves? Or is that like cavern growth? Because I don't think those are trees. Are they? Oh, they might be. Oh my word. whatever zone this is, I think this is where I want to end up living at. This looks awesome. Like, look at this. Oh my word. There's so much here. There's fungus like growing on the caverns. What is that? Looks like crystal there. So it looks like the trees have crystal growths on them, and then fungus and flowers, and then the leaves themselves, and they all like glow. That is so cool. This is a little, I guess, training area, it looks like. That's nice. Gives you a lot of like design options for sure. Because like it had there's targets, there's dummies, there's hanging like torches or maybe a bell. I don't know what that was. That's cool. There's castles in here. There's all sorts of door designs. Like if you see the doors on all of these, they're all like relatively different, which is really nice because it gives you so many things that you can do with it. Ooh, it's a hellhound. It died kind of fast. That's a mummy? Is it? It looks like it. It looks like he's doing like a 2-block high jump as well. Whereas with Minecraft, I think it's a like 1.5 technically, or 1.25. I think is what it is. So you jump just enough to actually get over the block in Minecraft, but in this, it seems like you can jump rather high. Just naturally. What is that thing? Is that a gun? It is a gun. That's cool. It's like a blunderbuss or something. Sick. Oh, what was that? Okay, so I guess this is the creative menu. So blocks, furniture, potions and effects maybe, and then I don't know what that is. That might be for like banners and stuff. That looks like, I'm not sure what that is. Water, plant life, ores, housing blocks. I'm not sure what that one would be. There's a lot of different ways to organize it, it looks like. Oh, liquids. That's liquids and mana. That's what it is. Okay. Interesting. Builder tools, machinima. So this is the creation tools. This is a big thing for a lot of people, especially for modders, because this is in-game. You can in-game as any random person with some tutorials, is what they said. A few tutorial videos is all you really need to look into this and start making things yourself. There's world tools, prefab, editor, list, NPC spawn, particles, and then all of these. Machinima, I think, is probably going to be, I assume, mob mechanics. So the way they act, the way they behave, maybe their stats. So this could be very interesting how this goes. There's, and I think for the mob list, I think there's like over 300 different mobs and their variations. So they've got a ton in here. And as he's flying around, you might notice the speed multiplier increase. That's interesting. Oh my word, there's so much to this world generation. Look at that. Look at these hills, dude. I don't know why I said dude. I don't know who's watching. You're an honorary dude now. Doesn't matter who you are. Oh, they gotta be... What is that, an AK? That was interesting. I assume that's a modded item with the way it looked. but it does look like in-game there are, at least naturally, basic guns and weaponry. So that's going to be really cool to see how that goes. What is that? Ancient gateway. And then a gateway crystal. Interesting. Is this how they go between zones? Oh, they cut it off there. Oh, it looks really good. Yeah, that was the gameplay trailer. Like he says here, it's raw footage. It's missing many NPC configs, which is why some are just auto-attacking. So that's interesting because it means some of them are actually naturally passive rather than how they acted in the trailer. Overlay for woodcutting is too dark. Woodcutting in general is too fast for the iron here, so I assume they're gonna adjust that. Bow was in debug mode and gave signature moves for every attack. NPCs are not balanced in terms of HP, damage, and other stats. I kind of feared that just from the Hellhound. It died really quickly. The weather with biome transitions is not good. Interesting. So I assume that'll be something they probably want to fix as soon as possible. A lot of bugs. Didn't include crafting or cozy. I assume that's like home furnishing, because he didn't prep the video. Just recorded on the fly. So that was just random things he thought of, went through and recorded. Character sheet UI is temporary. Portal at the end is unfinished, but decided to put it anyway. Gun near the end sounds weird, but it was a funny meme to put in. Okay, I figured it's probably modded, is my assumption, on that specific gun. This is interesting. There's missing NPCs in many zones from this video. Interesting. I'm surprised I didn't like that one yet. But yeah, that was the trailer for it. There's also this I saw, which is they did a mod to a raptor. That way you could ride it. That's really cool sounding, and I like how they kind of have the antenna to it. So it's not like just a raptor, but they actually put some effort into designing it rather than just, slapping one in, which is really nice. I love that. I love that they're putting so much effort into this because it shows they care about this game and they really want it to do well. Let's see. This is what I was talking about. So they're going to start talking and looking about the minimum specs, working on major crashes. I'm stumbling over my words. Improve overall security, test the launcher, and finish up legal work. So they're getting close to this early access. So this is going to be really nice. This is a asset editor video. Let's see. Trying to figure out where I pulled that from. I may have missed that one. I pulled it from one of his tweets, I believe. That or Hytale's official account. That's just branded as Hytale. But we'll watch through that real quick and see how this goes. So there's IDs, the asset ID. Goodness, I'm losing my voice. Particles. There's so much you can just adjust on this. You can kind of see down here the folders. So this is something really nice about how Hytale is going about it. They're allowing you to see basically everything that goes into this and adjust it for your mods. So modders are going to be super happy with this, I think. Because the way this is, it doesn't look like you're really writing a lot of code, but you can adjust basically everything, which is really nice. So they're changing the portal colors. Looks like the frame of it they changed, like the design to it. I think they changed the inner circle to it. So that's interesting. A lot of different magic portals, it looks like. Let's see. General, motion, attractors, material collision, optimization, and particles. Yeah, there's a lot here, just the whole way. What I personally like just looking at this is it looks relatively simple to understand. So when I'm dealing with stuff like Blender and all, I hate trying to deal with some of this. Actually, let me turn my headphones volume down a little bit. It might be a little bit hard to hear me. I apologize for that. But it looks really, really simple to understand, and I love that because when I'm trying to do stuff in Blender or Unity, God forbid I touch Unity, it is a hellscape to try and figure out where things are buried sometimes. Especially given I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I can watch tutorials, and I will still never find it because it's from some obscure version that I'm not using, or it's been moved within a slight variation of that version. So it's nice that it looks really simple to understand and get around in. So I love that. I assume that's this thing here is a cloth block wool. Interesting. Particle lifespan was over there, so I assume that's how long particles last before they disappear. Let's see. It looks like they're kind of just going to go through the whole process of this portal, so I'll skip ahead just a little bit. Well, I guess I say a little bit is a little longer than a little bit. Ooh, that's an interesting music change. Let's see, is there anything else of interest here? Whoa. Interesting. Oh, they have smoke, like, jabbing out from it, and there was something that was like, portal tentacles? Which will be interesting. I don't look forward to the modders going crazy with that idea. You know they will. They're totally gonna go crazy with that. Let's see, center glow. So this looks like different types, I believe, and I assume that's one of these down here. So these are all probably custom portals, it looks like. Yeah, that's interesting. Ooh, another thing you can kind of see just from this is how it looks like with all of the plant life actually moving. So it actually like shifts and stuff, just base game. Sometimes you have to use a mod for that in Minecraft. Some of them will do it, some of them won't. I don't think Minecraft does that automatically for most things, but it's really cool to see how everything in here reacts. Like, it's all very alive, and I love it. So we'll close that. Let's see what he said about the creation tools. That's interesting looking. What is that? A zombie, like, orc? Interesting. Let's see. New tab called Creation Tools is now in Hytale to help you explore what is possible as a creator, from simple NPC spawning to complex world gen editor. The vision for modding in Hytale is simple. Keep it beginner friendly, easy to learn, and part of the game itself. I love that. I'm so glad that that's what they're trying to do with it, because it allows for everybody to try to make things. So literally anybody can probably make a fair bit of stuff for this. Let's see. You can stick to basic tools or go deeper with advanced ones like the World Gen editor, which lets you control the whole world generation. That's wild. There's mods that do that for Minecraft, but they're kind of in the dark on it for now. Minecraft is going open source with their code so that you can actually see what's there. And I say open source, I don't mean open source as in you can edit their code, but basically they're letting you see it. So I might be using the wrong word there. They're also getting involved with Blockbench, which I have used before. It's not like super difficult, but it is a little bit of a learning curve, I about guarantee. But I was able to use that to add an item that was basically like a bloody welding mask, as like a Halloween thing. It was interesting. But it's interesting that they're working with them so that you can make stuff for the game in here and then get it into Hytale. That's gonna be cool. And then I'm sure you guys have seen the screenshots here. This has it looks like some kind of statue up here. Obviously, I love how this guy looks. There's this cool looking weapon. I want one. I'm not gonna lie, that looks sick. His armor is really cool as well. I love the tunic. And then there's this guy, which I'm sure a lot of people are interested in. Um, I forget what they called him, but he looks really nice. As far as I understand, he does not currently actually work in the game or spawn, but it is interesting to see what they have in store past the initial early access. So this is going to look really cool. This is going to be super fun. I cannot wait to play this. I really hope I can get into the early access because I really want to just dig into this and see what they have because I've been waiting for this game for years. But yeah, Hytale is back. It's good. It's coming. I can't wait to see it and I can't wait to play it. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day.